I'm not as blunt as you are, but it adds up to that.
Because that's what people think, that if you're too dark-skinned, or if you have natural hair, or if you have very African features, you can
most of our women.
As a dark-skinned black man, and in Jamaica, you differentiate between skin tones because we're all black, most of us, but we still think that some of us are, you know.
Some blacker than black.
Light black and dark black.
It isn't just about beauty pageants. It's an experience across the board that there is that lighter skinned persons are favored, and you know, maybe.
Right, but when Bolt run, when them clock,
hold on, let me hear what Mr. Cooper going with this. Hold on.
So whatever issue you have with it, it's not about beauty pageants per se. It's about life experience. And so any bias that exists, and I'm sure there are biases that exist because they do exist, are part of what happens across the board.
But do the organizers tend to, Mr. James, let me ask you this, do you go out to pick girls that you know are likely to do better in the international competition, which means ruling out some of the more African-looking girls?
No, what you're looking for is the best girl in the bunch of girls. You have 16 girls, and you're looking for that girl who stands out, who, whether she is Chinese, whether she is black, whether she's white, it is the girl who really, you know, tops that group. And for instance, we have had people like Sarah Lawrence, who went over to Miss World and she came fourth in the world. We have had a number of persons, Kathy Levy, who went to Miss World. And it has, you know, the mistake we make in Jamaica is to believe that judges are only looking for fair complexion girls.
But hold that thought for me. I'm going to pick up when we come back because I have to go to another break. Stay tuned. Remember, in the final segment, we're taking your calls, so make sure you call in and tell us what you think. We'll soon come. And we're back with you. You're watching All Angles. I'm Dion Jackson Miller, talking about beauty pageants today, and we're taking some more comments from our friends on Facebook. Mark says the Italians have a saying, if you want to know that God exists, look at a beautiful woman. Look at the intelligence, poise, and class of these women. No, I don't believe beauty contests are degrading, not in the least. I don't know what this is. Ecstasy? Okay, says, I'm only against its defining of the perfect woman, where it relates to a woman's physical features. Keith says, at the inception of the concept of beauty pageants, it was rather demeaning. The very fact that the title emphasizes beauty hints, he says, at the objectification. However, the revolution inspired by feminism helped to expose them for what they were, and they forced organizers to look at how they presented these pageants. Trace Ann says, frankly, I don't know, but I think a woman does not need to be exposed to what is normally covered to the entire world. Okay, let me pick up back on that issue of color, because Mr. James, I beg your pardon, you were addressing that, the fact that people feel that the judges look out for the browning, look out for the fair skin.
And that's not so. The judges are always looking for the best contestant out there. And when it comes down to the top 5, it is a matter, it's really where the rubber really hits the road. It's how you respond to your questions at that point. No matter how good looking you are and you get a question that you cannot handle, you're going to fall in points. And whoever responds very well is going to get some good points from the judges.
But is it unfair to say, really and truly, these contests are geared towards a kind of European standard of beauty?
No, it's not.
I mean, I've seen stories coming out of Africa saying the women who wanted the beauty contest now are aspiring now to that kind of European physique and look, rather than the traditional African woman we used to say entering, who never used to reach anywhere.
No, I think those...
She used to get Africa Queen of Beauty, and that was it.
Yeah, those comments are designed Those comments are designed to keep people in a shell. It's like almost sort of demeaning the President of the United States then. You know, you may say, okay, only a white man can be President of the United States. And when a person gets with his education and goes into that discussion and emerges as the best, you know, people say, my God, and the same thing happens in the beauty contest, that people have to have confidence in themselves. And Wednesday, you have confidence in yourself when you get out there. It doesn't matter what. As long as you have the confidence in yourself and you can do the things that are requisite and necessary, then you can emerge. I think
don't do the Miss Universe anymore. You know, this particular competition, we've been talking to Yendi for a long time about entering, was not run by Pulse, it was by Invite Productions. But what I can say is that in our time, we would have loved to have seen more darker skinned women with all the necessary attributes.
Which are what?
Which physical beauty, poise, brain, personality, confidence, all the things that are going to make you win. Because these things are crucial to winning. Because remember now, if you can't step, one of the things about Yendi, which people, Yendi's greatest asset is not her beauty, you know. No. Yendi's greatest asset is her confidence.
Yeah, confidence.
If you saw that show, Eve Miss Mexico, if there was one more competition, Yendi would have won. Because Miss Mexico was beginning to feel the pressure. You could see it in her face that she was. It was getting to her.
Yeah.
Yendi wasn't feeling any pain.
Yeah. And you know, to back up what Kingsley just said, you know, Yendi indicate that she had a little problem in walking when she was younger, and she had to take up dancing to overcome that problem. Now she took up dancing, overcame that problem, and is a fantastic dancer. And her confidence, you know, somebody trying to overcome a problem emerges, you know, as a stronger person. It's just like Winston Churchill having, you know, stuttering and overcoming that, becoming one of the world's greatest orators. And I think if we can really get people to recognize that if they have the potential and they're willing to do what is requisite and necessary, they can come out there with that confidence and go on the world stage. But if we continue to say that they're looking for this type of person and that type of person and get people falling back in a shell, then we won't have some of the very beautiful black women coming forward and representing their country.
But even the dark-skinned ones don't have very African features. Isn't that true?
Well, there's a misconception about African features.
All right,
traditional African features, because
there's a misconception. For instance, as you go farther north on the African continent, you get to Ethiopia, where you have Negroes with straight nose. You go down to South Africa, and there's a different type of Negro, and there are also some red Negroes in certain parts of Africa.
Okay. So it's only certain type of African.
So it is. We tend to focus on the Central African.
Yes.
And we just make it appear as if a person has straight nose, that person is not a Negro. Yeah. But if you have to look at going up to Ethiopia and these the northern part of Africa, you'll find a lot of the pure Negroes who are different from the Central African. And just like the whites, you have blondes, you have blue eyes, you have different...
Okay, I'll take your point. I'll take your point on that.
Sort of difference in terms of that comprise the entire race.
Mr. Someone, tell us about your pageant now. You're organizing a pageant for girls who are not sexy and who don't want to... What?
Who are not interested in showing off to the public their sexiness. I mean, they're not sex, but...
So what we're going to be looking at?
We're looking at beauty, and I must say that I've worked with the JCDC for many years on their Festival Queen, and I was very excited about their interpretation of beauty, which was more about inner beauty. Yeah, and as we can see, and I'm really happy.
So you're having a cultural contest, then, not a beauty contest.
More so, but I'm coming to the point, because I'm really happy to see that this other beauty contest, it's just in the name, it's still called a beauty, but I see you have now put in talent and intelligence and so on.
But you're not going to win if they think you're ugly, though.
I'm going to leave that point a little bit. But so our competition now, it has moved a step beyond that to say that it's about what is really inside of you, your spirituality. And it's on the theme, it's based on the theme, Christ the advocate of the people, and I am my brother's keeper. So we're looking for Christians who would have loved to enter these competitions.
So can she be sexy?
She can be she can be as sexy as she want to be.
But she has to hide it.
But we're not judging her sexiness.
Will she be allowed to wear a swimsuit? Or?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, because we really think, and we speak for those who believe that the showing off of your body, that's why we wear clothes around. We wear clothes.
But when they
that's
go to the
another
beach,
purpose.
do they wear swimsuits?
You do that for a practical reason, because for swimming. You know?
Yeah, but people will see you at the beach in your swimwear.
Yeah, but everybody else in them swimwear and everybody doing the same. It's not that I am being a spectacle for people to view.
That caused us to have to wear clothes.
Huh?
Original sin, wasn't it original sin?
That's another discussion.
Okay, let me take us back on. Let me take